just don't read the book, I live the book. Imagining ourselves to be one of the characters of the book can generate interest in the book. And the book I liked the most was The Mystery of the Missing Man by Enid Blyton. In this, a thief who was in the jail suddenly got disappeared. Police wasn't able to find him out as he was very good at disguising. Five friends went into the depth of the mystery and solved it, and so were rewarded. I refer this book to the ones who love to solve mysteries.
Books are good company in sad times and happy times, for books are people. People who have managed to stay alive by hiding between the covers of a book. This is what I discovered in this pandemic driven lockdown. Enid Blyton is one of my favorite writers. I read the series of Secret Seven. I greatly admire my first book of Secret Seven, Look Out Secret Seven, where the seven help the old general to find his medals. I like the way when the seven have a meeting, make sort of plans, and crack the mystery by shadowing the culprits. And when Susie, the sister of Jack, interferes in their discussions, plans, and meetings, it creates a lot of fun. This book transported me to a new world of enjoyment, mystery, adventure, and also enriched my language. Thank you.
The Fault in Our Stars is John Green's yet another tearjerker that deals with dying and surviving the death of a loved one. John breaks your heart in the best way possible and makes you cry, laugh, and smile throughout.
The Fault in Our Stars is a modern tale of two youngsters, Hazel Grace and Augustus Waters, who find life in their respective ways to death. The story has a theme of maturity that brilliantly deals with how Hazel Grace, the protagonist, deals with thyroid cancer and simultaneously falls in love with Augustus Waters.
Augustus charms Hazel and changes her life by giving her what she says forever within the numbered days and changes her perspective towards life. It's one of those books that you cannot stop reading and yet you do not want it to end. It deals with a sensitive topic of cancer in the most understated and subtle way. Augustus and Hazel taught me that nothing can affect your life, even if it is cancer. It makes you think that how valuable love is, how short life can be, and how one person can change your life in the most simplest way.
Besides having an amazing storyline and a refined and ambitious work on the characters, it takes you through a roller coaster of emotions, thrill, excitement, and suddenly drops you at disappointment. Yes, the story doesn't have an happy ending, but that too showcases the reality of life. Every chapter is unique and interesting, and you can't end the book without disappearing into puddles of tears. This book is a celebration of life and love, and I highly recommend it.
I'm here to tell you about my last read. The name of my last read is Alchemist. Alchemist is a very interesting book. Alchemist, the part of Alchemist which I love is that when Englishmen went to Alchemist to change lead into gold, he clearly refused to change lead into gold. He said that you should have faith on yourself, that you can also do this. You should try. The treasure is where you are, but you have to go out to know it. The real treasure is not that which we found from anywhere. The real treasure is that from who we became. Our life is also like Alchemist's story, in which we have to turn ourselves from lead into gold.
I have hated words and I've loved them, and I hope I've made them right. Starting with these words of the book that I'm going to talk about today, that is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. The story is set up in Nazi Germany and revolves around a passionate book lover, Lizette, whose love for book is evolved when she steals her first book from a graveyard. The The story is about hardship yet courage, about surviving in the chaos and Lizelle's love for words and knowledge that help her to overcome her fear and bring her confidence to survive the death which is evident. It is a roller coaster that will lead you to the path of love, compassion, trust, and friendship. And the fact that the book is narrated by none other than Death enables the reader to see the world differently. It reveals that even death has a heart. And though towards the end you might find yourself in tears, but as Marcus de Sade said, like most miseries, it started with apparent happiness.
Recently, I read this novel Looking for Alaska by eminent novelist John Green. Portraying the genre young adult fiction, the story revolves around a boy named Miles whose life had been a non-event until the day he decided to seek the great perhaps and got himself enrolled in an boarding school of Alabama. From that day onwards, his life turned into a roller coaster, which he rode along with his new friends and Alaska Young, a gorgeous but completely screwed up girl. Preoccupying all my attention, the story drove me into the world of young souls who are zealous and unafraid to perform endless mischiefs, young hearts who love and care for each other, and young minds who seek for unanswered questions about life and death. I would like to recommend this book to readers who search for true meaning of being alive.
Life Have a Mystery to Solve is the 20th novel written in the series of novels by Enid Blyton, The Famous Five. Enid Blyton was an English children's author who is known for her amazing and astounding books. Her books have been a bestseller since 1930s and she has sold more than 600 million copies, and that is a huge number. This book also deals with secret passages, hunting treasures, drinking ginger beer, and whatnot. The book starts with the famous five riding their bikes around the Whispering Island. Later in the story, they make shocking revelations and discoveries about the baffling island. My favorite part of the story is when Anne and Timmy use their witty minds to fool the men and ride them out of the island. Thus, they stop the island from exploitation.
One of my favorite readings, Tara, a stage play in 2 acts by Mahesh Dattani. This play focuses on the struggles of Eastern civilization trying to modernize but failing in its attempt. It highlights how patriarchy overshadows the woman in a stereotypical Indian society. The protagonists of the play are the two conjoined twins, Tara and Chandan. The story is a flashback narrated by Chandan in remembrance of his sister Tara, who died 6 years ago. It centers the emotional separation between the two conjoined twins. They were surgically separated in an unequal manner where the boy grew physically and mentally stronger than the girl. Later, the worst happened. Tara passed away at a very young age because of kidney failure. The ending was not really appealing and I got into puddles of tears.
It is Divyanshi Singh and I recently read this book, The India I Love by Ruskin Bond. It is basically a book about his journals as a kid to a very prominent writer and a 70-year-old, of course. People ask him that why he has been living in Mussoorie, and the simple answer for that is that he is in love with that place. He loves it. He loves the nature there. And if you want to read about his experience in Mussoorie, you must definitely read this book. He has compared his life of a 70-year-old to a child of 17 years.
Great leaders have books as their soulmate. We can explore the whole world without moving our feet with the help of these books. We can explore and analyze the thinking and the thought process of great leaders with the help of these books. Please stay tuned for tomorrow's enthusiastic program, The TED Talks.